Hey guys, Rob here. I've just got back from the gym, hence why my hair's a little bit messy. But on the way back from the gym, I was walking and I was listening to this podcast, and these guys were talking about how to be happy and what makes people happy. And they were covering all like the relevant topics of, like you should meditate, you should relax, you should, take time away, spend time with friends, find your passion, things like that. And I think that advice is good, and I think it's relevant. However, one thing that I never see on like happiness lists, or I never see on like like videos like that. They tend to just cover all kind of what I consider as like the basic stuff, is what I would consider truly like fulfilling and satisfying activities. Now, I have a completely different take on like what happiness is and how you can kind of achieve it. And I'll tell you a quick story about why I have this take. So, not many people actually know, but a large proportion of my career, I worked at like a charity, right? And at this charity, we helped people in pretty severe circumstances, basically, get the help they need. And I remember some days I would like come home from the job and I could have been dealing with like really hard cases all day, and it kind of affects your mood when you come home and like you're very drained, you're feeling a bit down. And then some other days I would hang up the phone from speaking to a person, knowing the advice I've given has truly helped their circumstances. Like, it might have been a person who came to me with completely no answers, and I would point them in a direction and get them to use our completely free, free service. And I know that like it's completely saved their well-being. And when you get off a phone call from helping somebody at like such a deep level like that, where you've truly helped them and you've truly helped somebody in need, now that's happiness right there, right? And you feel very fulfilled when you help others. So my take on happiness is actually, you should focus on, if you're like questioning how to be more happy, or how to do all these things, and you've tried all the basics of meditation, finding your passion and everything, what I would say is every single person should be like spending a proportion of their time helping other people, helping people who are in need, helping, reaching out to friends and family they've lost contact with, letting them know that they're there. And I think coming through like the events that the whole globe has had over the last year, one thing I noticed is that people actually reaching out and checking in on you is actually quite a rare thing. And, some people do it well, some people don't do it so well. But if you're wanting to feel happy right now, start focusing not on your own happiness. Focus on how you can improve other people's happiness. And it's kind of like one of those situations where it pays dividends and you will feel fulfilled. So an example of where people do this wrong, I think, is actually on social media. So, as you know, for the people who've been following me a while, I run a business on LinkedIn, and I help other businesses get leads from LinkedIn and get clients and things like this. And, I do like an outbound strategy where I'm speaking to people in the inbox. I also do content strategies and things like this. And so I'm on the platform quite a lot, and I have a tendency to scroll down and see what other people are posting. And when I scroll down on LinkedIn, all I see is these like virtue signaling posts of kind of, I call them look at me posts, and the people just talking continuously about all like the good deeds they've done, right? And talking about like how much of a good person they are. And I think they've taken the principle of helping others to make yourself feel happy, make others happy to make yourself feel happy. And they've done it wrong, right? Because when you do these good deeds for people and when you're actually genuinely helping people, you should be doing it from an area of, I don't want anything from this interaction, right? And what people end up doing is they actually end up, documenting it just so they can post it on social media. And the driving force behind it is not, in fact, to actually help other people and to make other people feel happy. The driving force is, I need to be popular. I want to be popular. I wonder how many likes this post is going to get. And I think when you do things like this, you miss a huge chunk of your life. There was this craze a few years ago where basically people would go up to homeless people on the street and, they'd give them like $100 or, whatever, they'd give them some money or maybe, they'd give them a significant amount of money. But they would document it, like sticking a camera in a homeless person's face whilst giving them food that the homeless person needs to take, right, because they're hungry, giving them money that the homeless person needs to accept because nobody else is giving them money, and they give them a significant amount, like maybe $200, $500, something like that. And then they document it on social media just because people like to see basically things where people, like good deeds. But the problem is, yeah, it's a good deed. Yeah, the homeless person might have got money, but is it really a good deed if what you're expecting out of it is like external likes and external validation, right? And if you're just expecting things like that and not actually being a good person, then you can't imagine the happiness is actually going to follow as well. I remember when I used to help, and this is the first time I've ever said that, I've done like charity work in the past. And, I've made a truck ton of other videos on this channel. I've been posting on LinkedIn for ages, and I've never mentioned it there before, apart from today, right? And the reason why I've never mentioned it is because I don't want people to think, like this person's obviously just doing this for likes. But let me just tell you what, in terms of happiness, some of the happiest moments I've had have come from where I've really genuinely helped another person. I haven't documented it, right? Instead, what I've done is I've thought to myself, I've made a change today. I've actually changed somebody's worldview. I've changed somebody's, experience of life at the moment, and I've really helped them out. And that's like a deep internal feeling of feeling fulfilled and satisfying. And I think we create great things by building others up, right? But a lot of places at the moment, and a lot of people, and a lot of influencers online, particularly like I say on LinkedIn, there's tons of influencers on there who go for the popularity vote. I think that actually really gets lost because they're aiming for the recognition. You must try and give without feeling you need to deserve the recognition. To give without being recognized, that's a strong character. That is a real trait of a strong character. And I've met a lot of people in business and things, and I can always tell the people who are going to do exceptionally well are the people who do these nice things, and they do it when nobody's watching and they don't think anybody saw, but I saw, and they've just done it from the goodness of their own heart because they love to give out, right? So there's kind of a bit of a business lesson in this as well. You know, occasionally I jump on the phone with like people who want like a consultation or want like a consulting service or something like that. And if they're like situations like pretty dire and they haven't got any, money or anything, I understand that, they don't need to be forced into, paying money for maybe like a program. Instead, what I'll do is I'll be like, look, these are the 3 steps that you need to take right now to move forward. Your biggest problem is not getting like leads from LinkedIn or whatever, or, building your business. Your biggest problem is survival at the moment. 2 completely different modes, right? And I think like, I wish more people would do this because more people would be happy and just give out without expecting really anything back, right? And if you can do that, that right there trumps, finding your passion, meditation, relaxing with your family. If you can find them, a person or a group of people or, a bunch of people to give and do it without like receiving, you will be very, very happy. For instance, like I come from like a family of therapists. Like my mum's a therapist. My granddad was a therapist. His dad was a therapist, and I've come from like a family that help people a long time, and like none of these guys, none of my family members have like ever won awards or anything like that. Because, you get like this intrinsic motivation from helping others and this internal like sort of life satisfaction, right? So on the surface, it doesn't seem like you've achieved an awful lot, right? But actually, it's the impacts that you've had on people along the way. Like my mum's she's been a therapist for 30 years, right? She's never won an award, but you want to see some of like the beautiful cards and postcards and presents clients send to her, because they're like, without you, I don't know where I'd be. You've changed my life and things like that. So I think like, and when she gets that, and when she gets these presents, she like gets this like warm feeling inside, right? So if you're like out there right now and you're questioning like, I wonder how I can be happy, life's not that good. I know life could be like really tough, and it can throw you real big curveballs sometimes. I've been through them as well. And if you're in that situation, don't focus on how you're currently feeling right now. Start focusing on what can I give out that in turn is, it's going to make me feel good. What can I give out without, documenting it and doing it for likes, just doing it as a genuinely good person that I can internalize and get a great feeling of like fulfillment from it. So for my subscribers and the people who are following me and sort of watching my videos frequently, my challenge to you is go out this weekend or pick up the phone or whatever and find one person that you can do a good deed for, right? That you don't expect anything back in return from. So whether it's picking up the phone to a friend who you've not spoke to a while and saying to them, listen, your friendship, it means so much to me, all right? Whether it's complimenting a random stranger, all right? Whether it's, going to a charity event, whether it's, raising money for, I don't know, children in need or whatever. And do what you can with like social media to try and raise the money, but, don't position it as in like, this is what I did on, don't do that. Just try, and once you've done this task, feel these internal feelings and think to yourself, am I actually happier than what I was before? And come back and let us know. Let us know in the comments and let us know what you think and what your findings were. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend and take care.